5 amazing things that exist in space. Planet Earth is pretty amazing, but there are a countless number of other fascinating things existing in the universe. The examples on this list are some of the most unusual, terrifying, and mystifying things scientists have ever found out there beyond Earth. These are 5 amazing things that exist in space. Number 5. The burning ice ball. Perfect for warm weather and summer drinks, ice for us here on Earth is the epitome of salvation when it gets too hot outside. We use it for a nice glass of lemonade or iced tea, but the ice on Planet Gliese 436b is radically different from what we have here. Discovered in 2004 by scientists Jeffrey Marcy and R. Paul Butler, Gliese 436b was found using radial velocity. This method observes the gravitational pull a foreign body makes, and as a result, its parent star will appear as if it's shifting or bending. The planet is about 30 light years away from Earth. It orbits its sun unusually close at 2.5 million miles away. For contrast, Neptune orbits our sun at 350 million miles away. Scientists have discovered at the center of Gliese 436b is an Earth-like core surrounded by a lot of ice and an atmosphere composed mostly of hydrogen. And this is where the anomaly lies. Gliese 436b is so close to its sun, you would think the icy core would have melted from the heat, but instead it remains intact. Despite burning at a rate of 800 degrees Fahrenheit on its surface, the planet is still filled with ice, burning ice. Everyone knows ice doesn't remain solid when exposed to too much heat, but Gliese 436b defies it all. Apparently, the gravity on the planet is so strong that it helps compress the water vapor in the atmosphere, allowing it to remain solid as ice covers the entire planet. Of course, the only difference is that the ice you would find there wouldn't be cold but extremely hot. It's likely so hot it would instantly burn and kill you if you were ever to come in contact with it. For scientists, this gives them a whole new way of looking at the properties of water. It's possible that if water is subjected to enough pressure here on Earth, it could showcase properties we didn't even know it had. Number 4. Hell Planet. At first glance, there's nothing all that special about Gliese 581d. It's an exoplanet, about 5 times the size of Earth, and revolves around its own sun, a red dwarf star which is commonly found in the Milky Way. Gliese 581d weighs about a third of the mass of our sun and is located relatively close to Earth at 20 light years away. But there are a couple of things that make this planet stand out. Scientists announced this unusual planet could actually be potentially habitable, as 581d possibly harbors water in the form of oceans, rainfall, or clouds, although it's not definitive yet. And this isn't the only planet orbiting its own sun. In fact, it's one of 6 planets, meaning there could be other places within this system that could also facilitate life. One of these curious other planets is Gliese 581c and 581g. Of course, even if water was possibly on these, and the temperatures could host life, there's one eerie thing with all the planets in the Gliese system. All of them would have a red glow on them instead of the bright sunshine we get here on Earth. Because it's revolving around a red dwarf star, it means all the light it receives would be blood red in color. Not only will this look ominous, but it would also do something unusual to the plants. It would mean they would have to gather photosynthetic energy using an infrared spectrum, quite different from here on Earth. As a result of this unusual blood red light, all the plants on the Gliese planets would look pitch black instead of green or in other colors. Even more, because of its proximity to the sun, many of these planets could be tidally locked. This means one part of them perpetually receives the light, while the other is always dark. Life forms could survive if they stay close to the narrow strip between the light and the dark areas where the temperature could be just right. Even more alarming, because of the extreme sides, it also means extreme temperatures and seasons. There could be permanent rain and gale winds blasting through with no actual seasons dividing any of the planets. If there's water, then there is potential for life. So in 2008, a company called Bebo beamed 500 user messages into space as a form of a digital time capsule. This was blasted directly to Gliese 581c and will reach the planet in 2029. Whether there will be a response or not, all we can do is wait. Number 3. Diamond Planet. An entire planet made up of diamonds. It seems to be the stuff dreams are made of, but there is an actual planet located 40 light years from Earth that is made up primarily of diamonds at its core. Meet 55 Cancri E, otherwise known as the Diamond Planet. Because of its possible diamond abundance, it means the planet contains more carbon than it does oxygen. Dubbed as a super-Earth, the Diamond Planet was first spotted in 2004. It's about 8 times the mass of our planet, and approximately a third of its mass could be made up of diamonds. This planet revolves around its star at such a fast speed it only takes 18 hours for it to complete a full orbit, compared to Earth, where we take 365 days to do so. Moreover, the surface temperature of the planet gets as high as 3,900 degrees Fahrenheit, making it unlikely to sustain any form of life. The Diamond Planet is one of 5 planets circling around its sun-like star called 55 Cancri. This sun star is found in the constellation of Cancer, and because of its close location to Earth, it can be seen visibly by the naked eye in the night sky. Currently, scientists are still trying to find out more about this unique diamond planet to see how its internal systems work. And in case you're wondering just how much the Diamond Planet would be worth, Ivy League undergraduates actually calculated the planet's possible value and estimate it could be around $26.9 nonillion. If you're unfamiliar with what a nonillion is, it contains 30 zeros at the end of it. Compare that to Earth, where the global GDP in 2011 was estimated to be just around 70 trillion. Getting your hands on the Diamond Planet would mean you'd be pretty filthy rich. Number 2. R136A1. It's mind-boggling enough to think of the size of Earth and the mass of the other planets in our solar system. But when you learn about how many more bigger stars are out there, it's truly baffling. The R136A1 is considered to be the largest known star in terms of mass. Basically, it's the heaviest star scientists have ever found so far. It's about 265 times bigger than our own Sun, 2 times bigger than what scientists had ever thought was even possible. This star is located 160,000 light years away from Earth and found in the large Magellanic Cloud region. It's dubbed as a Wolf-Rayet star, echoing a temperature of over 100,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This type of star is also known for strong stellar winds, heavy surface elements, and extremely high degrees of temperature. Aside from being the heaviest star, it also is the brightest one we know of right now. It shines at 7 million times the luminosity of our own Sun. Most scientists believed it was impossible for a star above 150 solar masses to form, but the R136A1 defies this by existing. One theory as to how it got so big is that it formed by absorbing several lighter stars. The problem, though, is that this is a fairly common occurrence, and yet we don't always find the stars as big as R136A1. How it's staying intact as is, nobody really understands. It's also possible the only real reason we don't see them often is that their lifespan is short and they end up exploding into violent supernovas faster. But there could be many more out there and possibly even bigger ones. Although R136A1 is the heaviest and brightest star we've seen, in terms of the radius size, another star tops that. The UI Scuti features a radius that's 1,700 times that of our Sun. At 9,500 light-years away, it is the largest known star in mere size. It's much lighter in mass, though, at only 30 times the mass of our Sun compared to the more than 200 plus of R136A1. Number 1. Largest water reservoir in space. Imagine every single human being on Earth, almost 7 billion of us, having an entire planet's worth of water 20 times over. That's the amount of water vapor discovered in a reservoir in a quasar out in space. When we think of space, it's hard to imagine it as anything but dry and cold, but one quasar, an ancient one found 12 billion light years away, proves us wrong. The huge water cloud is slightly a surprise, but also expected by scientists. This water cloud is located in a quasar. These are massive black holes that steadily consume a disk of gas and dust all around them, creating a huge amount of energy. The unique thing about this particular quasar is it's producing a huge amount of water. When the water vapor was measured along with the other gases present, it's revealed there should be enough to help feed the black hole until it grows up to 6 times its current size. It's unclear whether the quasar will actually expand after ingesting the water vapor, since there's a possibility it might just spew it out. The realization that a water reservoir enough to supply 28 galaxies or 140 trillion planets like Earth can be found floating around in space, so to speak, in the form of water vapor is astounding. For decades, no one thought water could exist in space or on most other planets, but we're finding out more and more that aside from this large reservoir, there's water found in one of Saturn's moons, an iceberg of water hidden inside our moon, and of course, there's water on Mars. Perhaps even more strange is that since the ancient water reservoir is 12 billion light years away, it means scientists are also looking far back in time to when the universe first started. What it looks like now, at this very moment, no one knows for sure, but it could be even bigger. So there were 5 amazing things that exist in space. What we know about space is still so little. Some of these bizarre findings are just a few of the most unusual things we've discovered so far. As we continue to improve our technologies and more corporations make space the new frontier, we're sure to find even more bizarre things lurking out in deep space. If you enjoyed this video, then please remember to subscribe and check out some of our other videos we know you'll love. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.